in your notebooks, I want you to write evaluate algebraic expressions. Now, understand the word evaluate is just a math term that means to solve. In every algebraic expression, or any algebraic equation, you're going to have a variable. A variable is any number, sorry, not number, thank you, any letter or symbol that represents a number. Now keep in mind, some variables, common variables that you're going to see in math would be x and y. They're probably the most common variables. But the letter x does not represent a specific number. It doesn't mean like x is always going to be the number 14. Okay? It just is a letter that represents some number. Now, we have talked in the past about order of operations. Okay? So, in order of operations, you know we have the phrase, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. With multiplication, and you saw a little bit of it on the last test, a multiplication problem can look many different ways. If I took 5 times 3, 5 times 3 could be simply written 5.3. It could be written 5 directly beside the parenthesis. Yeah.
Mistake. You said you wanted to put a letter, not a number.
Down there, any letter or symbol that represents a number. Now, when you have a variable, another way, and the reason you see multiplication written different ways is because we use the letter x quite a bit for a variable. Well, the letter x looks like the multiplication symbol. And so, in the future, you won't see the multiplication symbol with an x as often. You'll see it written different ways. Because 5x means 5 times x. the first part of what you're going to be doing for homework tonight is they're going to give you an equation like this. Three x times 2. And they're going to ask you, sorry, 3x plus 2, thanks. 3x plus 2. And they're going to ask you to draw this, to show what exactly does 3x plus 2 look like. And so, if you were to draw 3x plus 2, you're taking 3 times something. Now, we don't know what that something is. And so what we're going to do, we're going to represent it like that. Because if the x represents 5, that means that there would be 5 here, and 5 there. 3 5s would be 15. Okay? So we're going to represent the x like that. Then it says we're going to add 2 to it. We're going to represent the 2 by 2 little squares. And so if they ask you to draw 3x plus 2, that's what it would look like. You might want to write that down because over the weekend, if you don't get the homework done, you're going to want to remember that. Evan?
Does it have to be times 5?
No, I'm just saying we don't know what the x is. We don't know what the variable represents. I said and let's say in this situation the x represents 5.
Yeah.
This would be 5, 5, and 5. Maybe the x represents 10. So 10, 10, and 10. 3 times 10 is 30. 10, 20, 30. Understand? Now, you might see another one like this. X plus 4. How many x's do we have? 1. Do we know what it is? No. So this would look like this. This x, we don't know what it is. We don't know how much it is. And then we're going to add these little 4 to it. Let's say we had b plus b plus b. Do we know what b represents? No, we don't. So, there's the 1b. Here is the second b. And there is the third b. That's identical to what other problem? That would be the same as? Owen?
3x plus 2.
No, you're close. We don't have the plus 2, so this would just simply be Dakota?
3x plus 0x.
Well, in this situation, it wouldn't be x, it would be, I used the variable b, so it would be 3b. Understand? Just because I used a different variable. Yes?
I think your problem where I think 3x2.
You're saying like this? Oops. Something like that? Okay, good. Now keep in mind, multiplication is commutative, right? So So you can change you can take 3 times 2 times x. 3 times 2 is 6. Now you'd have 6x. Understand?
No.
Because multiplication commutative, you can change the order around. And so you don't need to worry about that. Don't write that down. You won't need to know that. Okay? Yes?
What is the all three B's equal 6? What is the second letter of the alphabet?
B can be any letter, any number.
It
doesn't matter.
17. It's long. So it could be 100.
Yeah, it can represent anything.
Yeah.
It just means it's representing a missing value. And we don't know what that value is. Now, huh?
How you supposed to get the answer then?
You would have to do some calculation. They would have to tell you more information. Okay? And that leads me to the next part. Evaluating algebraic expression. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to give you an algebraic expression. Let's say 4x minus 3. And they're going to tell you that x is equal to 5. In this situation, they're telling you what the variable represents. And now they're going to ask you to evaluate it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make it into a numerical equation. Okay? Algebraic means that it has a variable. Numerical means it's all numbers. So we're going to change this algebraic equation into a numerical equation by putting this 5 in place of x, because in this situation they're telling us that. So to change this to a numerical equation, it would be 4 times 5 minus 3. And now you would solve just like order of operations. First thing you would do is, and keep in mind, I want you to do it in a certain order. Okay, you have to do order of operations, but I want you guys to put the parentheses around it. 4 times 5 is 20. Rewrite it. 20 minus 3 is 17. So in this situation, your equation is equal to 17 because x was equal to 5. Now let's say they give you the exact same equation, 4x minus 3, but this time they say x is equal to 9. Okay, so now we're going to make it into the numerical equation. We're going to put 9 in place of x. So now we have 4 times 9 minus 3. And now 4 times 9 is 36. And now we take 36 minus 3, and that gives us 33. Owen.
Is J your favorite letter? Because you keep on putting the J in there.
That's a semicolon. Yes.
Is there any like really long questions on a homework like this?
I can look at it. I doubt it, because the thing is not making them. It's just. Bigger number, bigger equation just means more work, but it's the same exact thing. Okay? They might give you this equation. 6 RZ, where R is equal to 4, Z is equal to 3. Okay? So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to make it into a numerical equation. 6 times R is 4, Z is 3. Now, we have this, we can use the associative property. What would you want to multiply first? I have my favorite right now. Why? What would you do?
6 times 4.
You take after your mother.
It's always with the 6.
Because now 6 times 4 is,
24.
and then you need to take 24 times. Can you do that in your head?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you take after your father then.
My dad knows nothing about that.
Me, I would take 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12. And now 6 times 12 is
I don't even know.
72.
That's a lot harder, Mr. Howard. It really is.
Okay? So, you're going to have those types of questions for your homework. I'm just checking real quick. I want to make sure if there's any other type. They're going to give you a chart. Okay? The chart's going to be, look something like this. And they're going to give you the variable r. They're going to give you the equation r plus 12, and then you're going to solve it. And they're going to tell you that r is 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? So now, what you're going to do is you're going to solve the equation for r being 3. So you would have 3 plus 12. 3 plus 12 is 15. Now you're going to put 4 in place of r. Now you have 4 plus 12, which is 16. Now you have 5 plus 12, which is
17.
and then 6 plus 12 is
18.
okay. So you're just putting these numbers in place of the variable. Okay?
20.
Yes.
Is there any way you could get division?
Yeah. I mean, you could have, and we're going to get into that later, where you're going to have r divided by 6 equals 9.
So that's not what our homework is, right?
Now, for today, what you're going to have is they're going to give you an algebraic equation, and they're going to ask you to draw it. What does it look like? They're going to give you an algebraic equation, and they're going to tell you what the variable represents and ask you to solve it. They're going to give you a chart, and they're going to ask you to solve it for different numbers and put in place of the variable. Yeah.
Is it possible to, like, I know this is a little, probably never going to happen, but what if you run out of letters in a question? What would you do?
Make up numbers.
Make up your number.
I don't know.
Well, it does say
Great question.
symbols. So
Yeah,
you could
or
just do
just
anything. You could do a smiley face or something.
Owen.
All right. The J is a semicolon. Is that or semicolon too?
No, that's not a
Where?
J.
No. R divided by 6.
That's not a J.
Oh wait,
Okay. Yeah. Okay, get out your board. Afterwards, take that over. Okay. If you have this equation, 5p plus 2, I want you to draw that. What does 5p plus 5p plus 2 look like? Draw it. How would you show 5p plus 2? What?
Got a marker? I don't have a marker.
Where's yours at? No one else sits in that desk. Good. Good.
Hey.
Good. 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 Good, Dakota. Good. And so if you were to draw this, you would have 5 of these rods. And then you would have 2 more onto that. Let's say you had this. Y plus Y. What does Y plus Y look like?
Oh. It's too big.
And it would simply look like there's one variable, And there's the second variable, because y plus y is the same as 2 times y. Let's say you had this. 3. How would you draw that? You would want to make sure that you have 3 little ones. Okay? 3 individual ones. Okay? So, everybody feels good about drawing? Yes? Okay. Do this one. Solve this equation. 3p plus 2, where p is equal to 5. 3p plus 2, where p is equal to 5.
You want us to do the whole thing?
Solve it, yep.
3 plus 2 equals 7.
The term that you're going to hear a lot is evaluated.
I did it.
Can you see? I don't need to hear. Let me see what you have.
3 plus 2 equals 4.
Don't draw it. I want you to evaluate it. Evaluate mean? Solve it. So, you put the 5 in place of p. We're going to make it into a numerical equation. So you're going to have 3 times 5 plus 2. 3 times 5 is 15. And now you have 15 plus 2, which is 17. What?
Where did you get the multiplication sign?
3p.
3 times.
Right here. 5x is the same as 5 times x. When a number is directly beside a variable, that's multiplication. Do this one. 6y minus 8t, where y is equal to 9 and t is equal to 2. 6y minus 8t, where y is equal to 9 and t is equal to 2. Go ahead and solve that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make it into a numerical equation. So we're going to have 6 times 9. I'm going to put that in parentheses, minus 8 times 2. And I'm going to put that in parentheses. 6 times 9 is 54. So I can do 54 minus 8 times 2. I could have also done the 8 times 2 at the same time because they're both in parentheses. And now 8 times 2 is 16. So now I have 54 minus 16, and that would give me 38. You're going to take the 8 times 2. You did that. Okay? Any questions? Okay, your homework. Page 49. Don't need talking. 7, 10, 15 through 20. 22 through 28 even, and then 30 through 35. Yeah, let me figure out.